Hey guys, Kirk here from Acid Bite, and today I'm going to show you how to make our new cracked glass transition. And it's actually a lot easier than it looks, guys. So let me just real quick delete everything on my timeline, and we can start out with something fresh. So you can see that I've already imported everything that we need for this project, all of our cracked glass transitions. And you can also see that these are not presets that you need to install, but they're just regular footage that you import like any other. And I've also got down here the two pieces of footage that I'm going to use for this transition. You just want to drop those into the timeline, and then I'm going to delete these audio tracks because we are not going to need them. Okay, great. So this is how we start out. So the first thing you want to do is grab your second clip in the timeline and bring it up and on top of the first clip. And then we want to go and find the transition we want to use. So I'm just going to randomly choose number 8 here and bring that down into the timeline. And then I'm going to line up the second clip to the start of the transition. So you want the overlapping of those two video files to be the same length as the cracked glass transition. And one thing that I want to mention here, guys, is that if you're not working in a 4K timeline, like me right now, I'm working in a 1080 timeline, you need to go to your cracked glass layer and right-click it, and then you want to come down here to scale to frame size. And this is going to be really important because if you don't do this, you're not going to see the entire transition, and it's going to end up looking pretty bad. So you can already see the cracked glass taking place, but obviously there's something missing here, and that is the track matte key. So we're going to grab that track matte key and drag it onto our second clip. In this case, that's on video 2. And one more thing, if you're working with mixed resolutions, like you have a 4K clip and a 1080 timeline, you'll need to nest that clip before you add the track matte key to it, otherwise it won't work. And then what we want to do is go into our effects panel, and with that clip selected, we want to go to track matte key and choose video 3. And that's targeting our cracked glass video layer. And what that does is it transfers the alpha data from that layer onto our video clip that has the track matte key applied, and that's going to look like this. And now at this point, the transition is almost done. For some people, it will be done because you can just use this and move on. But what I like to do is actually go and bring the cracked glass layer back in again and delete the audio because we already have it here. And then again, make sure you right-click that layer and scale to frame size. And then with this top layer selected, the cracked glass, we can go to the blending mode and we can choose screen. And it's a very subtle thing, but I like to have it here. Let me just mute this audio. So what adding back in that screen layer of the cracked glass does is it brings in those reflections that you get on the edges of the pieces of the glass. You can see that here. And for me, what I think it does is it just elevates the effect a little bit. It just makes it feel a little more shattery, so to speak. So as you probably noticed, guys, the clip actually comes with a piece of sound design that we provided. Most of the assets that we make also do come with them. And one thing that I want to mention real quick is that if you feel like this transition is a little slow for you, that's because we shot it in high speed. So you can change that if you select both the clips, go up to speed and duration, and change it to, let's say, 200%. Then you just want to realign everything back to the edge of that first clip, and problem solved. You got the speed exactly where you want it. So another thing here that's important to mention is that your timeline structure might be different. Let me delete the track matte key off of this clip. If in your timeline maybe you have the first clip on top of the second clip, and it's the opposite, that's fine. You can still do the transition. So in this situation, you just have to make two little changes. Firstly, you always want to put the track matte key on the upper of your two clips, so the one that's closer to the cracked glass footage. And then the second thing is you want to make a cut in that clip exactly where the transition starts. And then clicking on that piece of clip you have left over, you want to go and select video 3 again. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for downloading, and see you next time.